guys. Everybody, it's MicheleMarieDalene. It is the 18th of November. It's kind of chilly this morning here in Connecticut. The sun is shining. The heating is heating. And we're going to kind of talk a little bit about what me, Perfect Consciousness, talked about a little bit last night. As you know, the show was pretty long. The first 2 hours of the show were kind of like a rock slowly being pushed uphill by Wile E. Coyote, and hoping that it wasn't going to roll back on him and squash him flat. Once we finally, when FC came in, we had a chance to finally kind of spice the show up a little bit with talking about different things. I have a couple questions I asked that he couldn't really answer directly, but I would like to throw them out to you guys in the morning so you guys can think about them in the daytime. Number one, for the elite that supposedly want to control and micromanage the world, why do you want to waste your time doing that? What's your objective? Number two, why would you want to necessarily micromanage the elderly and older population? It seems like, just like when Houston said, I believe the future is our children are our future. Of course, we know that Adolf Hitler did the same thing with the night shirts. So maybe the problem is what to do with the old farts, which includes anybody over 30. Oh, remember that's an old slogan from the 1960s, right? Which was, don't trust anybody over 30. Yeah. But you still got all those older people in the world. So, third question is, why would you want to use RNA sequencing in a vaccine for COVID-19? How does that work? I know we mapped the genome, the DNA genome. That's not the RNA genome. But if you can change a person's DNA, as FC said, to actually convince the person to give up their free will, can you also change the DNA of an older person to fix their eyesight, fix their hearing, fix medical conditions that may be causing them to get cancer? Could you create a genetic material splice that actually causes them to get cancer? Could you actually kill populations by giving them diseases that are incurable on purpose, not accidentally? Again, I don't know. But I just think it's kind of scary to think that way. Okay, so let's get started with some of the newest news fresh on my eyeballs. In Georgia, they found 3,000 plus ballots that were not counted in the election. Result was, in Floyd County, Georgia, 176 of those ballots are for Donald Trump. Other counties had like 2,700. But again, the truth is Donald Trump is still not in the lead. Biden took the lead of 15,000 votes. And even if they do manage to decide to flip the state red for Trump, the truth is it's still not going to be enough for him to get 270 because Joe Biden's got 290. Now, on the other hand, what about the state of Nevada and Pennsylvania, two big states? If Nevada finds enough discrepancies that they actually have to recertify the state as for Trump, he's still not going to win because, unfortunately enough, it's just, I don't know. It would still be 270 for Biden, and Trump just wouldn't win. I saw a news video last night before I went to bed from a news site called NTO that said that the election results being contested would actually possibly result in Congress having to elect the president of the United States. It kind of sounds like what happens with the Board of Selectmen here in Winsted, which actually appoints the mayor. The people in Winsted don't actually appoint the mayor. The Board of Selectmen do. But we appoint the Board of Selectmen. Don't ask me to explain that one. But it certainly is how it works in Winsted anyway, that the Board of Selectmen actually appoints the mayor. From their Board of Selectmen, one of their own becomes the mayor, or in some cities you would call it the head of selectmen. Politics. Anyone? People were saying to me is, you put a lot of effort into World of Warcraft, and I do. And some people say, well, World of Warcraft doesn't mean anything. It's a game. Soul's life. Life's a game too. Do you ever wonder who's pushing your buttons? Do you ever wonder about what happens? Why you do the things you do every day? It's a game. Sadly enough, it's a game that we don't realize we're playing it because we're the characters in the game. Where is the real people playing Michelle? Who is the real people playing you? That's wheels within wheels. It's kind of fascinating to think about it. Good morning. How you doing? Yeah, I'm feeling fine. I slept good. Ate good. The other thing is, like I said last night, is to FC. You can watch that live stream if you want. It's up here. Is the fact is that there's something about my life that doesn't make a damn bit of sense. Here, let me explain it. Miss Jamie says to me last night, you should be able to get Medicaid. I went through all the redetermination, all the filings, everything, and they said I'm over the income limit in the state of Connecticut. She said if you make less than $17,000, you should get Medicaid. Well, that's interesting because when I calculated the numbers out, and so did the person, I actually talked to the person that looked at my case in person. I met the person. Somewhere in a crazy stack of paperwork, I've got the official letter from DSS. That explains why I'm not eligible. But I think that People of Peace may be right about something he said about a year ago. You are basically cursed, or somebody doesn't want you to achieve anything. Because all the people that I know of in this world, it seems, in their own way, do better than me on getting entitlements. I can't get them. I mean, no, Skynet, we're not doing phone calls right now. I told you, we don't do phone calls until the night show. All right. We can do you only. I'm not going to have a million people in here. I was going to just put you on Discord real quick, okay? Just give me a second. We got to get into Discord here. So I'm going to do an individual call to you. And that way you can talk to me And just give me a second here. All right, I don't know. This is gonna go. We never know.
Hello?
How you doing?
Hey.
So, did you see the interview for FC last night?
Oh, you guys did an interview last night.
Yes. After the normal 2-hour show, or if you look at the show, it ran for 4 hours. It starts about 2 hours and 44 minutes and 47 seconds around there.
You did a 4-hour
So it was a 2-hour interview
on top of your show?
It's about an hour and a half interview.
That's a big difference.
No.
But no, I missed it. I was out doing all kinds of errands after I got off of work, and my phone battery was dead. I had enough charge to come into your chat for that little bit that I was in there, and then, just had to drive around, continue doing shit.
All right.
What did you guys talk about?
Like I said in the beginning of this live stream, last night's video was like, well, Coyote trying to push a rock up a hill. It wasn't really progressing very fast. We picked up the speed when we got FC involved, because that was very informative and educational, and people actually benefited from that experience.
What'd you guys talk about?
We talked about the upper elites that want to control to regulate the world, mental illness, mental health.
That must have been a good one right there. I kind of wish I did catch it.
Well, you can still watch. I put a timestamp in my comments, so you can go right to it.
It was in your show? It wasn't on his channel?
My show. My channel.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But if you go to my video from last night, you'll see the pinned comment that's mine that tells you exactly when it starts, so you can actually skip the dross and go straight towards it, not have to worry about finding it. Now, I also want to talk to you about something else too, something you said to me yesterday, which I did want to address. You said to me, quote, "I really regret getting you into WoW, but you didn't realize I already was involved in WoW." Why would you feel that it was your fault that you got me into WoW?
Because, well, it's not so much that it's my fault that I got you into WoW. I was more affected by the fact that since you've been playing WoW, you've seemingly become more disassociated with the world.
Actually, no, I find a lot more parallels with
Michelle,
the world.
Right, that's the problem, though. That's the problem. You're trying to make the real world more like World of Warcraft, because every time you try to make a simile between World of Warcraft and the real world,
word, simile.
Right, a simile, yeah, of course. Every time you do that, though, you're becoming more detached from the real world. And the reason why I say that, Michelle, is a lot of times the two don't really correlate. And if they do, it's so vague that I wouldn't really consider it to be a well thought out simile. And the really telling part of this whole situation, other than you buying 3 sets of elf ears and being seemingly really fucking obsessed with blood elves and Silvermoon, is the fact that you had a friend call you yesterday, and she's called you a few different times since you've been playing World of Warcraft and the pandemic's been going on. But you had a friend call you, and you didn't even want to associate with her. Now, then again, you did have homeless Mike at your house.
That's a little different situation.
You did have homeless Mike at your house, so maybe you do have some type of social interaction. But honestly, I really doubt that homeless Mike is a better person than Sherry.
I don't really even like having homeless Mike here because of the fact is that he is,
Who do you like
smoking
having
somebody
at your
else's
house?
cigarette butts.
Who, if you could have any of your old friends at your house, who would you have at your house?
If I had the persons I wanted in my house,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I don't really have anybody in my house because people stole them from me in the past, and I know that sounds strange, but it's true. I was
No,
living
it
in
doesn't sound
Willimantic.
strange that people
When I
steal
was in
from you.
Willimantic, I had a few more friends. They'd come in and they'd steal a few things out of my house when I wasn't looking, and for that reason, for security reasons, I really kind of clamped the doors down that since the 1990s. I don't want people in my home because I don't, you know,
You used to go to the
I
soup
certainly don't
kitchen
like
every
cigarette
day.
smoke. I certainly do not like cigarette smoke in my home either.
Nobody does.
Right. Guess what? Sherry smokes, and
Uh,
I can't handle cigarette smoke.
how many packs of cigarettes a day do you think Sherry smokes?
Probably about three. Oh, maybe not three.
Really?
Yeah, but we're quite a
How
few.
much are cigarettes right now where you live? Do you know?
About $7 $8 a pack or 20. So 20
Which
cigarettes for
one?
$7 to $8. That's gonna be ridiculously expensive.
Fucking where I live, they're like $11, $13.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty conservative, pretty close to the same price. But the
But
point
the
is, Sherry and I also have an issue, or just like Pop, where she will seriously get into my nerves without even trying to get into my nerves. And it's bad enough if you're in a public situation, and I'm in her home, for example, that she does that. Because first of all, that's her house. You can't tell her, "Hey, stop talking to me about like that about me," and saying, "I'm doing this or that." That's not fair. But when it's in your house and she's then attacking, not meaning to, not really attacking, it's just razzing you up, you tend to want to say, well, this is not what I want to have going on in my home, because my home is my safe space. My home is, where I go and do my own thing. And so that's the reason why like I said, since the 1990s,
well,
I
you're
pretty much.
right. It is your house, and ultimately, it's your decision who comes over, who you associate with. But
Person I
I
do like coming
personally
over,
am
and I
worried
do
about
invite
you.
the person I
I'm
do
pers.
have come over, and I do like having coming over is Krista, because Krista
Oh,
and I are both pretty much very similar minded, and we can both understand each other's concerns, and we do, because she helps me get groceries up, and then we'll sit down and we'll talk for about an hour or two
oh,
before she goes home to her daughter and everything else. So that's what I do. I have a very select few people that even come into my home.
oh. So you have had Krista come over recently.
Yes, she came over earlier in October or November after we
Oh,
went
okay,
grocery shopping.
okay.
So I do
Well,
have
that's
people come over. You know. So let me take a look at the comments here. I don't know where it says Skynet is making some very good points. Yeah, but so am I.
right. We agree. It is up to you who comes over. I didn't know you had other people coming over. I thought it was just homeless Mike and Sherry.
No,
You
I've had
know,
other people
because
come over. Sue Blevins used to come over when she lived next door. We used to have a few people that came over. It wasn't just one or two people.
we're talking about now though during the pandemic.
Right now, it is only mainly is Krista. Because as I said, I feel comfortable hanging out with Krista. Besides, she takes me to the store, and of course, I pay her for gas. And so it's she's helped me out a few times. I helped her out a few times in return. Of course, my landlord's been by here.
Yeah.
Are you going to see your mom over the holiday season? My mother did not send me an invitation yet. I don't know what the plans are for next week, next Thursday. I don't even. I checked my Facebook Messenger. I don't see any messages from my mom yet
What about
about
Krista?
Thanksgiving. So unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, maybe she's thinking about it. Maybe she's wondering if it's really
Do
what she wants. Um, but
do you think maybe Sherry wanted to do something with you for Thanksgiving?
yeah, I went to her house last year for Thanksgiving, so it's very likely I might be going to Sherry's for Thanksgiving. That's a possibility, or maybe even Krista's house and her husband Ray. We went, me and Patty, about 3 years ago when Krista still lived downstairs. Was it 3 years ago? I'll just say 3 years ago. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, about 3 years ago. Me and Patty went to Krista's for Thanksgiving. And so it's a possibility that maybe either Sherry or Krista are going to invite me over to Thanksgiving. You don't want to act like Peppermint Patty and invite yourself to somebody's house for Thanksgiving. You ever watch Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special? You know what I'm talking about. Or Peppermint Patty goes to Charlie Brown and says, "Hi, I want to come to your house for Thanksgiving." And then, of course, poor Charlie Brown has to try to figure out a Thanksgiving dinner. And then Peppermint Patty starts screaming at him about, "Oh, where's the cranberry sauce? Where's the turkey? Where's the mashed potatoes? Where's the stuffing? What's all this stuff? What's toast and jelly beans?" And first of all, poor Charlie Brown didn't even know how to make toast. And so, in his own way, I don't want to be the Peppermint Patties that tries to go to my mom. "Hi, Mom, coming over for Thanksgiving." Mother probably say, "No, you're not." So I'll let her make the decision. But let's see the questions here. What's up, FC? Great to see you, brother. Oh, yes, there he is. Everyone else. Well, Skynet is the AFC. You want to join us in the chat this morning? A little bit later than last night. Skynet didn't even know about the chat from last night. Love those as a kid. The Christmas soundtrack is great too. I play it when I'm feeling festive in December. I didn't even know they had a full soundtrack. I mean, I knew there was a soundtrack in the background. I didn't know that there was a whole album of it. So what I'm going to do is let me turn the Skype on. So, guys, let's not make this a regular everyday thing now, because we all know that this can get really crazy. But some of the people have said that the mornings are good for them, and others said the nights are good for them. So I want to kind of finish up where we left off last night. And but as far as I mentioned about the World of Warcraft, you do realize, though, like I said, we all do our own real daily grinds in real life. And we all level up in real life. But do you ever wonder who's actually making us do what we do in the game in real life? Because life is a game. You think about it. What do we really? I mean, to us as characters in the game of life, do we even really think about it? Like, who is playing me? Who's playing you? I know it sounds like wheels within wheels, but it's certainly a good question, though. Do you ever wonder that?
What?
If you think about it in its own way, life is a game.
No, see, here you go again.
Yeah, but guess what? The difference is that you seem to disassociate life with a game, Whereas I see the bigger picture that life is a game.
No, Michelle, you don't leave the house. You barely have people at your house. So therefore, you think life is a game because you spend most of your life in a game. Do you understand?
Well, let's put it this way. I've been like
You
that all my life. I've been like that all my
That's
life.
not true. That's not true. You haven't been playing video games all your life.
No, but I've been pretty much socially distancing all my life, though. That's the part that's true. I mean, the few times I had people in my life more actively in my life back in the 90s,
You used to go to the soup kitchen almost every day.
right?
You would go to McDonald's almost every day.
Yeah, but that's when they were open. They're not open
Right,
now.
right. No, I get that. But you've went an entire year without doing that. Don't you think maybe that's messing with your psychology?
Oh, no doubt it is. No doubt it is. The problem is explain that to the powers that be that determine policy and tell them, get Michelle to McDonald's, get
No.
Michelle back into the soup kitchen.
No,
She
no,
needs
no, no,
that.
no. You can't blame all your problems on somebody else. You can't blame how you're acting on the government in this case. All right,
Well, let me
because
answer FC's
there's no
question.
way.
The
There's no
McDonald's is
way.
not actually closed. The dining room is closed. So there's no place to, I like to go into a restaurant or whatever. I like to sit there passively listening to what's going on. You know, kind of like the song Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. You know, I've always been kind of the wallflower that sits in the back and just listens to what's going on. And maybe occasionally might interject a little bit here when people come to me and say, ask me questions or whatever. But it's not where, I mean, it's not the food part of it for McDonald's. It's the getting out into a different environment, which with the McDonald's dining room being closed, um, that's pretty much closes off in one opportunity. Now, with the soup kitchen being closed until potentially 2023, wow, I don't even know. Like I said, the only thing I heard originally was 2022, the soup kitchen's lease expires and they're going to be moving. That's what I was told. And then, but why 2023? I don't know. That seems kind of extreme for me. Um, KFC says, can you see the comments? Because I want to share them with you. He says, this is from FC now. He says, it is a game and we are in it. Not much we can do until death comes knocking. That's when liberation begins. That was from FC, not me. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, and I get what he's saying, but I'm gonna have to disagree in reinforcing Michelle's mental state and making it sound like it's okay to think everything is a game and everything relates to World of Warcraft
Lawyer
because it
agrees with
doesn't.
him. He says mine as well. FC also says, see, here's when he asked me about McDonald's being closed, and I answered that. He said, Michelle, I think you should go to those social events at your church. The thing is I don't even know if they're even doing that anymore because of the same reason, because of the social distancing and reduced crowd sizes. I don't even know if people are even really going to mass. Not that my church was ever packed during mass. That certainly is a good question. I have not found out if they're still doing the coffee thing. FC also says, Michelle, you can still go outside and take a walk. You could go to the
Hey, read what
street.
Deep State says. That one's the most.
We're not fictional characters. Well, we don't think we're fictional characters, but if you look at it the other way I'm looking at it, is because we're so immersed in it. We don't seem like we're fictional characters.
When did the movie Frozen come out, or Frosted? Well,
Frozen 2?
no, Frozen.
Well, the original Frozen came out around 2014.
2013. And you were coronated the Snow
2011.
Queen. 2011.
Right. Is it 2014? But 2013 could be right too. Um, I'll look it up for you, Michelle. FC says definitely not reinforcing it, just agreeing that life is a game. I hope she tries alternative ways of getting out and doing things compared to what she used to do. She really needs that in her life. Yes, I do. I never said I didn't. I do. And now that winter is coming, a lot more people are going to be more isolating than because in some cities they're even telling you, and this I can't even say how they could do this, telling people that they should not even have Thanksgiving in their homes.
That's
I don't
exactly what I
understand
told
how the
her.
Democratic leaders of some of these states can even come up with this. How can you tell people how many people are supposed to be in the home? What are you going to do? Send a fire marshal to everybody's house to count the people? I,
I mean, they might, but look at what Deep State just said.
I haven't looked at it. She said, Michelle, I think you're going obsession with the fictional world and you're disassociating yourself with the real one. No, because I'm actually still active in the real world as well. Right now, I'm just seeing a lot of similes, and that's where it can be an advantage because I can see the similes. Um, in my early essays, I actually did in college. I've actually addressed this exact topic. This is not a new thing for me. This is actually something that just kind of continues on my dissertations we're covering, and that is that we are a part of a game that we just are so immersed in it. We don't even realize that we're being played by other players. So it's not exactly too hard to understand. Um,
But
that's
you're trying to make the real world more like the World of Warcraft world. I mean,
in a
you're
way.
wearing blood elf ears, and you're claiming that you can cast magic spells.
I've been claiming to have magic ability since I was a young child. So
Right, but it's almost like once you started getting the World of Warcraft, uh, it kind of
it lets
flared up
me
your
live closer to where I
ability.
my perceived potential, my perceived potential, which is in its own way. Right now, Skynet, you understand one thing: we're in a world where we have totally lost all control of what all the things that we used to do. When I say we, I mean at large. We have lost that what semblance of control that we felt we had has been taken away from us by an individual or a group of individuals that think in our own best interest that they should regulate and micromanage our lives.
No one is being hurt by Michelle wearing elf ears except for potentially Michelle.
Well,
Like
that's true.
I'm not being hurt by it, but you can't deny that there might be some type of issue with having a dual spirit, casting magic spells, claiming that you can control the weather, and constantly saying that everything in the world somehow relates to World of Warcraft. I mean, I'm not a psychologist, but
Well, let's take a look at some of the other comments here because I'm this okay. Seeing a metaphor is a one thing. You're spending hours a day on it. No, I'm not. Only 2 hours a day. Usually, everything else, I'm spending my time researching real world events. So that's the difference. Okay, so let's go through here. How is it hurting her? Says Rachella. How you doing, Carrie? However, Rick and I offered to get her a well flag for a wall that's like $14, and she instead now wanting to change all of her apartment. Yeah, well, that's never going to happen. See, even I said that.
Well, what Michelle needs really is a bed. Okay, so maybe she's not hurting herself by wearing elf ears in the sense of physical pain, but she's definitely uh, holding herself back where she could be spending money on a bed. I mean, we all know she sleeps on a bed that Ed
It's
helped her get
old.
out of a
The mattress
dumpster
is old.
from
Yeah.
like 8 years ago.
Well,
It
that's
was a
why. That's
dumpster
again.
bed.
That's why I'm doing my
It,
best to put the money in the bank. It's why I have a savings account for this purpose.
but
I
you're not putting money in the bank. You're putting money on your ears
well,
and your World of Warcraft.
there are
Don't you
people who
think
also spend
beds
money
are
on
more
drugs and
important than?
alcohol too, and
Yeah, I get that too, and they're hurting themselves, are they not?
a lot of them know they're hurting themselves too with the drugs, alcohol, and
Right, but
cigarettes.
you're in denial. You're in denial. You're
I'm
saying
not
this
in
is all fine,
denial.
and
I know I'm not because look, first of all, I'm not in denial because everything else I'm doing is focused on getting myself into a higher state of productivity, which is why we do videos. That's the reason we reach out to people and do these streams and cover the news events as well. So, yeah, but right now, it's just that I need to have a little bit of a sideline entertainment because I need that. We need recreation. And so I'm trying to make the best of a situation where there is absolutely, for lack of a better answer, not much else you can do right now. You want to. The only other choice I could do is literally to. I need to consider doing it anyway, getting myself into another location where I might have access to more excitement. But then if I get too much excitement, then I feel overwhelmed and I shut down. So I tend to need to find just the right amount. And right now, there's not enough excitement at all because of things outside of my control. So I have to make do with what I can do. Um, I'm just saying Michelle is still like a child in many ways. Also spends money like one. I got her on ASS all the time about money, and she can tell you that. Yeah.
yeah, I actually got one of those mattress in a box. It was like $300. Lasted me for about 2 years. It's pretty good.
Yeah, well, I got about 200 right now in my savings account.
Well, look, out on the
In
wire
about
said
3 months, it will be an interest bearing instrument.
out on the wire said if you put a mattress on your Amazon wish list, he will buy that.
All right. Well, the only thing
Will
is
you
they
do
don't.
that?
The only thing is they don't deliver the new mattress and take the old mattress to landfill. So we'd have to go to a local mattress shop for that.
You're jumping 20 steps ahead. Let's start with you adding a mattress to your Amazon wish list so you can get a new bed to sleep on.
Yeah. Um. She says she needs. Carrie says we already tried. She needs it bought from a local mattress place called Sleepies.com. Um. Let's see. So this chat's going really fast right now.
People are excited.
And Carrie said they can't they will not bring it up the stairs. No, they don't. Because what FedEx would do is leave it downstairs so the porch pirates could easily steal it. And I don't know if I could carry a mattress up by myself. Um, I don't have anybody locally I know of that will help me
Not
carry it up
even your neighbors.
one of my neighbors, maybe, but I only know like two of them, and one of them is an older guy. Actually, two older guys. Sure, they can help me carry a mattress.
Yeah, a mattress in a box, that's pretty easy to carry for two older guys.
Yeah.
We're talking a mattress in a box, Michelle, not a,
And don't forget,
you
you
know.
also have to take the old mattress out and put that down to the dumpster in the same box. um, um, let's see. What was this? Deep State. She can't have it delivered because they won't carry it up. No, you call the garbage company and tell them you have a special pickup. That would be my landlord's job. Usually people throw the mattress right by the dumpsters, and that's how they got the mattress in the first place. Just to, um, it says she wants. Yeah, it's not even an expensive mattress. A box spring's fine. My landlord gave me a replacement box spring a couple years ago, but the
Right,
mattress
you
is.
just get a regular box mattress, one of those foam ones, and you put it on top of your box spring.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe get a pillow topper on top, and it'd be perfectly fine.
Well, that's what I was going to originally buy from Sleepy's. That was a foam mattress. It was designed more for motorhomes, but it was a full size mattress. And it was 4 inches thick. It was firm foam. I had a foam mattress originally from my parents. Uh, that was for a twin bed. So this would have been similar to that, but it was a full size. And so that was what I was going to get originally. That's still a possibility because it's if they still have it on sale at the time it was like $59. Um, and the delivery didn't really add much to the price. It was like about $10. So, Blazing T-Rex, how you doing? You can't. It says that you can't get the mattress box up the stairs. Like, ooh, I love you, Michelle. Thank you. It says research says I saw a memory of foam price between $200 and $350 the other day, depending on the size of your box spring. Yeah, the memory foam mattresses are more expensive. This is not memory foam for $50. This was more of standard regular yellow firm foam, not memory foam. I had a full mattress for my twin mattress when I had a twin bed. That was the same basic idea, but that was from the 1980s. That thing was very comfortable to sleep in. I would say it was a medium firm. Medium was more medium, not firm. It was still comfortable enough to sleep in. Of course, how much of it was because the foam degraded over 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, whatever. I don't know how old it was. It was in my family for a long time. And when I got the full size bed, replaced the twin, unfortunately, my old mattress was thrown out because it was a twin. It wouldn't fit in a full. Again by Ed, which then I later bought the bed frame myself from a local antique shop. So I have a foam mattress. I ordered it. It came in a box. Yeah. I mean, isn't the mattresses usually shipped in a box anyway? Usually, when when you go to a furniture store, they usually come in a cardboard box.
I don't think so. I mean, if they're foam,
The
they
only thing
do.
with foam beds is getting out of them can be a bit challenging for someone with your size, Michelle. Other than that, you love it. I had one, so I know. Well, when my legs weren't all messed up, would be a matter of swinging both legs over the edge and basically elevating both to basically act as a counterpoint. That's what it would do. My buttocks would actually be how I would swing. That's how I get out of bed now, by the way. Because my mattress says sag so much right in the center that basically you got to basically be almost like a contortionist to get out of there. Sometimes I'll just roll out of bed. Well, not fully roll, hit the floor, but roll enough that I can swing my legs over, and then I just prop myself up. Okay. Yes, it is hard to get out. Some days I'm like, okay, fine, I'll stay here. They're rolled up tight in like a vacuum sealed or something. Okay. Yeah, well, that might be true, right? Because after all, what is foam? It's supposed to air anyway, right? So this is a 4-inch thick mattress. It's got a plaid pattern on it, like a motorhome has. So it was like a 1970s print on it, brand new, but it was like 1970s look. Would be something you might find on a full-size bed in a motorhome. 4-inch thick. But for me, it would have been fine. Hell, if I really wanted the extra thickness, I could always bought two for the price of the $179 one with inner spring with a pillow top. From sleepies.com. So that's something I was going to do. So let's talk about when I say something I was going to do. The original objective was to wait until I got the stimulus check. But we kind of don't know what the stimulus check story is. And I've stopped covering the stimulus check in everyday videos because nobody wants to hear the same old stuff, which is nobody knows when we're going to get the stimulus check. They're stringing us along. So, I mean, instead of keep telling you the same old story, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I won't say anything until I actually get the actual official word of how much it's going to be, when it's going to be, when it passes the House and the Senate and signed into law. So at this point, don't ask me about the stimulus check, because right now all I can tell you is I have no information to confirm or deny when, how much, or what to expect. Get rid of the old one. It was used before she got it. Burn the thing. We'll just put it back downstairs in the dumpster. The next family take it. That's how the mattresses end up getting circulated around here. Homeless or low-income person sees a mattress and it looks like it's halfway decent shape, they grab it. Michelle, the bedroom itself is not the problem. The box spring was not the problem. That's actually the original box spring. It was snapped in half. It was being supported by bricks in the center because it was snapped in half. And my landlord had another box spring that was the same size, and he gave it to me. So that replacement box spring, the mattress got left in the rain. It was soggy and soaking wet. I said, no, this is not going to be a good idea because number one, it's going to probably have a mold and mildew issue. I'm not going to take the mattress, but the box spring was dry and it was pretty simple wooden structure, so I took that, which did make a difference in the bed. At least I could sleep in it. So, don't forget to, see Michelle on the news for burning a campfire mattress in the backyard. Yeah, I'm sure that all the far left would love that one, right? Ew, she's adding to the carbon footprint. Yeah, not exactly a good thing.
Well, I think we basically covered everything that I wanted to cover with you, at least for the morning show.
So, I'd like to know why Well, let me ask you a question real quick here. What do you think about what's going to happen with Shadowlands? Since we did talk briefly about, well, we might as well cover that.
I don't play World of Warcraft anymore. Kind of
Okay.
over it.
I'm not sure. I will just say this much. I have not got the official release is going to be on the 23rd of November.
You gonna buy it?
No, because I haven't even gotten up to level 50 yet. So it's no reason to spend money on an upgrade when I haven't even finished the main game yet. I don't know how that works anyway with the expansions at this point, but if I understand that you do get some of the features once you hit level 50, as far as which covenant I'm going to play, I'm thinking about playing either Vit here or Red Fray. Red Fay. I think I'm gonna play Night Fay. Because the way Night Fay is about involves the Druidic uh, life. You probably say, how does that tie in with the Shadow Priest? Well, I don't know. It seems that Bastion, Ventfear, it seems like the same thing that every Christian church has been talking about with angels and heaven and hell. And frankly, that doesn't gel for me. I'll just keep it at that for now because I have never played yet the Covenants because they're not yet available, but we'll see. I got a lot of quests in that game I got to finish. I'm working on them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was nice talking to you, Michelle. I hope you have fun the rest of the day.
By the way, what do you think of the way the morning show is versus the night shows? And I know you've been watching the show, observing it passively, and this is the first time you've actually talked on the show. What do you think about the way the morning shows get 8 people, where last night we can barely get 5?
What do I think? Well, the morning show seems to be where everybody is just, getting awake.
Right.
They're waking up. They're a little bit quieter, maybe. I feel like the chat is more loud. I don't feel like it's got the same kind of energy as the night show.
Right.
I still personally prefer the night show. I like the morning show. When I work on mornings, it gives me something to watch.
Right.
But two different things. I think you really should still take phone calls. I don't think you're gonna get as many crazy phone calls as you get during the night, like you think you are. Because I really don't think most of the crazy calls are, the people that do the crazy calls are up in the morning.
Right. And also, we noticed that our subs have dropped back down to 742. I think we lost 3 last night, and that might be just traditional channel churn. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be people just fucking with you. They subscribe, and then after a while they unsubscribe, and then
I've done that to channels myself, not to screw with them, but rather check out the content, and then if the content that I originally got interested in was just like a fly by night thing, I'm like, I'll stick around for a while, and then later on I'll just go ahead and maybe a couple weeks later just unsub. If it's really, really turns out the channel really isn't what I'm interested in, I'll just unsubscribe right away. But usually that's pretty rare. Because I tend to stick around for a bit. All right. So anyway, I wanted to say thank you for calling, and
yeah,
I'll talk to you soon.
All righty, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Yep.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so that's not going to be a regular thing, guys. I'm not going to have that become a regular part of the show, but I did want to have Let's Skynet join us and express his views that he didn't get a chance to fully espouse last night. So now let me get caught up on all the chat because you guys are still talking. So give me a minute here while I get caught up to speed here. So let's go back here. Let's start with the 10:43 a.m. Actually, let me go further than that. Let's go back to MJ at 10:36. Okay. She doesn't want it. She wants one. Jasper. Okay, so I don't. This is what it says. Right, her brother who lives nearby. Welcome to my world. Woo. I love you, Michelle. Deep Stace 3-2 message. I don't know where it says LOL Carrie. FC says, I saw a memory foam price between $200 and $350 the other day, depending on the size of your box spring. Yeah. The memory foams are more expensive than the standard foam I'm talking about. Out of a great mattress that was like $300, I think, in its foam and super comfortable. Okay. Michelle says, homeless Mike should help you. You've done a ton from. Yeah, the problem is homeless Mike. I don't know when he's going to be by. I have no way of contacting him. It's more of he comes when he comes. He's like a stray cat. You don't know when he's going to come, so you can't plan to ask him to help you with a favor because he doesn't even have a timepiece, a watch, or a phone. So it's more like a luck of the draw when he comes. I'll get a link. It says FC says, good morning, MJ. D-State says, forever right. They are awesome. And D-State said, and they roll them from up and ship them for free. Okay, well, that's true. But the mattress I want was like a foam, but it was like 4 inches thick. It's not going to roll that small. But it would be like a little bit larger than a roll of insulation, basically. But I have done that with my parents' mattress, foam mattress. I rolled it up. And then I would just use a piece of string to just hold together like baling twine. And then when I moved it, that was the easiest way to move it. So okay. And yes, Carrie, I have a foam mattress. I ordered it came in a box. It's awesome. I need a memory foam. Forget the foam. Okay. Rachel says the star. Private consciousness says the only thing with the foam beds is getting out of them can be a bit of a challenge for someone of your size. Excuse me, but even for kids, it can be a challenge. And we're not, I mean, but yeah, that's another topic we could discuss. My size. God made me big. I don't have a choice. D-State, LOL, Rachel, amen, Rachel. If it wasn't for Facebook memories, I would forget a lot. FC says, Michelle, if you get a foam mattress, make sure you set that old garbage out first before sleeping on it. Yeah, it's what the mattress company would have done, is taken the old stuff out first before they put the new one on top of the existing box spring. But like I said, that's up for. Steve Space says, oh, okay, thank you. I'll get a link to the one I use. I don't know where. Yes, Michelle, put the firm one on. Forever. Yeah, it's so hard to get out some days. I'm like, okay, I'll stay here. I don't know why it says thanks, Carrie. And of course, Nightbot here is talking like usual. These stay, no Michelle, they're rolled up tight and the vacuum sealed or something. Yeah. And it looks like, like when it's rolled up, it looks like it's like a sleeping bag. Like Owens Coing fiberglass insulation rolls. Yeah. With or without the backing paper. Most fiberglass insulation has a backing paper. Yes, I remember. We bought it to insulate a motorhome. Yeah. Michelle says, or is it all y'all are saying? Sorry, I'm listening to online school for my little one, and you say LOL, I cannot multitask. There's no telling how much cat dander and skin mites are in it, Michelle. Absolutely. Or how much of other unwelcome things. Bed bugs, anyone? You never know. It could have bed bugs in there or something else. If it wasn't for the fact I needed a mattress so damn bad, I would never have taken it from Ed. Ed gave it to me, and he got it from the dumpster for himself, and then he gave it to me. Just let's see. Okay, Rachella says, Carrie, yes, I wasn't thinking LMAO. I don't do that sometimes. Yes, get rid of the old one. It was used before it got burned the thing. And I already explained it. I'm sure that the people at IPCC would be screaming at the top of their lungs of a burning mattress. LOL, don't tell her to burn it. Yeah, IPCC would hate me for that. Dave Dobson, hello, hi, Dave. Hey, Dave, boss, so no. Michelle, I got the check. You got your stimulus check from the first stimulus act, the CARES Act. Oh, that's good. You got your $1,200 in the first stimulus act. Also, you know that the state of Texas also has a statewide stimulus program too. I believe in your county has that. You might want to contact your local county if you can find out if you can get stimulus from your local city, state, or county. You'd be surprised there are programs for that. I didn't check Connecticut yet, but I think Connecticut probably has one too. Let's see. Too bad. Okay. Michelle would say, I need to make a video. I need bond money. What? I never said that. Rachel or her porch. LOLFC. I says, I don't know why. Rachel says FC. I say the same thing. Dave says, I love you, sorry. I love your Sony headphones. These are my other pair of headphones. These are, I was wearing them for the phone calls because normally I have the elf ears on and they get pressure points when you put on other headphones. My regular skull crushers, which these guys, and these are one of my ears, and they can create pressure points. If you like to watch commercials about it. Really should make sure not to lose your ears, Michelle. Aye. Breaker 19, got your ears on? Not yet. Oh, probably might put them on later on. But put these ears in the drawer because that way I can find them back. Leave them up there with all the catch-22 of paperwork and bills and probably never going to find them. And I'll lose them. And then I'll start going spazzed out, freaking out. Like, I lost my ears. These original Noble 40s from the 1970s. They're skull crushers. They're over-the-air headphones. And the band is very strong. But if you want to totally hermetically, auditorially sealed. These guys are great for that, but they're very heavy. Very heavy. They work fine for what they're for. All right, so let me finish getting cut up here. You're living like you. Okay, what? You can't have old used mattresses. I give up. LOL. FC says that makes sense, right? Usually narcissistic sociopaths know what theirs are, so it would be only natural for someone such as yourself to want to be thrown out with the trash. That's kind of a strange answer. I'll just send Rachel the link and she can get you to accept it for him. I'm JK. Okay. Just kidding. Okay. Okay. And I'm just kidding. Oh my God, you guys kept talking. I don't know why I buy a new mattress best way every 3 years. Well, some of us don't have that luxury. It's out of stock. My day, Rachel FC. I was talking about my memory, not my whole self. So let me just scroll right now to the current time so I can get caught up because I'm falling so far behind here. The last one is Blazing Leo says it was too big. I don't know where LO1 apartment is smaller and I want to fit other things in my bedroom. Yeah, many bedrooms in many newer homes are smaller. It's only the houses you see in cosmopolitan or modern architecture that have huge bedrooms. Most everyday people don't have big bedrooms. What size my box spring? My box spring is a full size. So, and the bed frame is a full size bed frame. So, yes, Michelle, I'm just teasing you. You weren't too difficult with the mattress, but I just can't sit up on account of a new store I can't sit up and account on a new store like Sleepy's. I already have one on Amazon. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I understand it. I get that. Well, maybe we can come up with something. A $14 banner for the wall still sounds like a possibility. I never said it wasn't. Never mind me joking about saying I want a whole house. That would be nice, but that brings up a very valid concern. What happens to all your old stuff? I mean, sure, I can give it to the local charities, but that's probably not going to happen. You know how it is. Once you start hoarding things, right? Next thing you know, you got an entire separate bedroom sitting around in the storage bin somewhere. Can you pull up the website for Sleepy's or for Amazon? The dogs, yes, they take up the entire damn bed. Okay. Oh, there is a collection of give money. Oh, there is on the local level in many cities, states, and counties are programs specifically for COVID-19 relief. There's also many charities, even in my area, that if you can provide transportation, I believe the Salvation Army, and this, I think FC told me about this, or the Goodwill, will give you access to a mattress and a box spring if you need a box spring. But you got to pick it up. Again, you need a truck. I don't have one. So that means no mattress because no truck. And I don't know anybody who has a truck. I know a person who has a sedan, but I don't have and that's Krista. She doesn't have access to a truck. Yeah. I'd like to donate forever. LOL. Okay, out young. Thanks, Blazing. That's very kind to get. This. No worries. You're awesome. Well, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of things going on. Yeah. So I mean, the point is that in that for if you have access to transportation, many states and cities do have programs to help people with bedding. If you have no access to transportation, in some areas, some charities will donate and provide delivery. I mean, not for free, but they'll deliver it pursuant to what the charity has available for funding to do that. Okay. I do not have any information of Torrington's charities having transportation to deliver. So you have to basically to get it yourself. You may be able to get a mattress from Goodwill or Salvation Army, but you are not going to be getting any way of actually getting it to your home unless you pick it up yourself. In the case of a foam mattress, there is one valid concern we always have to keep in mind in this neighborhood: the porch pirates. One person got an IKEA bookshelf delivered, and they took the bookshelf. It was still in the box. The dresser from the IKEA dresser was still there, but the bookshelf was completely gone. They stole the bookshelf, but the dresser was too heavy for the medium density fiberboard to steal. And so, therefore, I'm going to say is that I would have to know exactly when the package comes so that I could actually get it before the porch pirates do. I mean, yeah, maybe the porch pirates need a mattress too, but I need it too. So it's a matter of getting there before they do. Yeah, I know. It's just getting cut up. How can you get a free bed? We can send money to give someone to help you bring it upstairs. I believe the Salvation Army in Winston or the Goodwill in Torrington actually doesn't necessarily give free in some cases, but they give it for very low cost, where you can get a mattress. Or other 501c3 charities that do the same thing for those in need. Subject to availability, but they do exist. Yes, but they don't deliver them, so you have to get them. You have to pick them up yourself. This is why she needs Carrie to take care of it. I'll pay a delivery and disposal charge, no problem. Someone smashed me outside that Facebook. Well, I mean, that's an interesting point. Also, as I said, for the COVID-19 issue, there are funds allocated to city, towns, and counties and states available for people who need COVID-19 funding. You might want to contact your local officials if you need funding. See if it's available in your area. If you are falling into crisis. Thanks to It's Jimmy for reminding me to tell people to check the local support agencies, community access agencies, or CAAs to see if there may be funds available if you are in hard times because of COVID-19. But that still brings the question, though. What Pop said is, am I cursed? Because my whole life has been hard uphill battle. programs that everybody else should be able to get, I can't get on DSS. Like, for example, just Miss Jamie brought up the fact is that if you make less than $17,000 on Social Security, you should be entitled to Medicaid. Oh, guess what? I make $15,000 a year, and you know what? I'm not eligible. So the question is how come other people that are making almost as much as I do can get Medicaid and I can't? How come this is not a new thing? This goes back a long, long, long time in my life. That for some people, they can get access to programs I'm not entitled to. So I think Pop may have been right when he said about a year ago that you're cursed. The only thing is who would put a curse on me and why? I don't know. I wish I could find the answer to that. MC says, Michelle, here is how this goes. A, pick out a mattress from local store. B, tell I don't know where which one. C, I don't know where it pays for it. D, mattress delivered as part of the payment. E, old mattress hauled away for free. That sounds fine. Michelle, you are not cursed. I don't know. I really can't say I'm not, because there's things in my life that just keep coming up over and over again that, like I said, some people can get. I want to say some. That's kind of vague. I mean, maybe I need to give dates more concrete numbers, but I can't have a more concrete set numbers. But there are things that a lot of people can get in assistance and entitlements, and are more successful. That I tried the same exact amount of work, if I try not harder, and I don't get it. We mentioned Medicaid, for example, but not just Medicaid, other things in life. It sounds to me like somebody knows my name, knows who I am, and is trying to prevent me from getting ahead. It just seems like that. Now, I'll say seems because I can't confirm any of that. Everyone has hard times. You just have to change your outlook on things. Well, I wouldn't count on F. Who's F? It's coming up twice. Okay. No thanks necessarily, FC. We know Michelle. Deep State says, do y'all think she needs foam, regular springs, or encased springs? Well, let's put it this way. I never had encased individually wrapped springs, so I can't say anything about those. I've only had one foam mattress in my whole life. And that foam mattress, as I said, has been in my family for at least 40 years. And then when I went to a full-size bed, we threw the old foam mattress out. Even though the mattress was in okay shape, it was designed for a twin, not a full. And the thing was almost over 40 years old. But the mattress was comfortable as hell to sleep on. Trust me, very few pressure points. The regular mattresses that were inner springs, they last for a while, but then after a while, the springs can break free, and then the next thing you know, you're getting poked where the end of the spring starting to come through the pillow top, and then you really kind of start feeling it. That's the story with the current mattress. That's why those springs poking out, I use my pliers, I bend the sharp pointy things down, and then I put a piece of duct tape over the poking hole so that the spring doesn't poke me anymore. And it's a lot of work to fix it that way. I'm researching mattresses, Michelle. Do you have our mattress firmness measured? I normally don't seem to get picky about mattress firmness. I mean, the mattress I have, I would say, is kind of medium firm. It's not super soft and certainly not hard as a rock. Hell, I've slept on wooden floors, so it gives you an idea how firm I can go. So I don't really know. The mattress I was gonna get was a firm. That was the only choice they had. So a firm would probably be fine. But isn't this the mattresses are good for 10 years? Then they need to be disposed of just for sanitary reasons alone. Absolutely. Absolutely. And once the spring starts poking you in the back, you know it's done. Kind of like when your smoke detector starts go meep, 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 meep. I have some back issues. Well, considering you are paying out on the wire, I don't blame you for LOL. Look at it now, complicated. This has already gotten. Yeah, well, don't forget to put the likes in the like jar, guys. Let's keep it simple. Likes in the like jar. Helps with the analytics. Like I said, the morning shows have been doing a lot better than the night shows. For a lot of reasons. Matt, I will have Mattress Firm come Sleepies. Okay, yeah, I will. That's the company that sells the mattresses now. It turns out Sleepies is now a division of Mattress Firm. Yeah. I'm full size, FULL. Mattresses shouldn't be part of a family. Well, that's kind of how it ended up in our family. Is like because a lot of times my family couldn't afford to buy mattresses, and so in the early years, we tended to mattress would travel from relative to relative to relative to relative to relative. That changed later on, but on to me, I don't know why you are a good friend, and I can't thank you enough for buying me a new mattress. I really appreciate your kindness. Yes, yes. Make sure to give me the tracking number or the delivery date so I know when to meet the guy downstairs. I do appreciate that because this had been on my plans for over a year, and it just never happened. Things kept going on and screwing up everybody. Yeah, full size. Theoretically, I could throw a queen on there, but all my sheets except for one set are full size. They're not queen. I have one set of sheets that's queen size, and they're a little bit big for the bed, but they're okay. I mean, they're not bad. They're just a little bit extra big. See, Michelle, this is a good example of why you don't need assistance. You have good friends and guardian angels. Yes, I know that. Rickington, they have several full sizes on sale for Black Beauty Rest. I don't see Sleepies yet. That's because they're part of the company called the Mattress Firm. Sleepies is just a store chain of Mattress Firm. They carry the Sealies, the Beauty Rests, but they do have their own line of mattresses. Like we mentioned, the foam mattresses. So sleepies.com. Well, the problem is if I try to jump into right now, it's going to totally mess up the live stream. I'll have to look at this later on. Right now, I can't be too picky, honestly. I really do need a mattress. Well, like I said, as far as mattresses go, I'm not really too picky. One of the things I always found interesting was something called the sleep number system. Of course, I don't want the sleep number system. I mean, the idea was you got an inflatable air pump that basically inflates your mattress to different hardness numbers. Kind of interested me. But I got a cat with claws. So I can just visualize that he might potentially unintentionally dig his whole claws into my mattress. The next thing you know, air chambers, they deflate and they get a leak. And they're like, yeah. Not a good thing for me. The one I linked to is a 12-inch covered sponge cooling in the place. Cool. How does it cool? All right, let me click on this. All right, let me take a quick look at this. Hopefully, it won't jump me out of the chat. All right, just give me a second. Let me take a quick look at this. I don't even know how it cools anything. The BR800 12-inch medium mattress, starting at $249. Huh. Okay. $21 a month with 12 months financing. Delivery. Okay. Is available. The website pulls up the state of Avon, Connecticut. So let me change the size because it is a full size. So I'm going to stick with the full size. Delivery to Avon, Connecticut. I want to change the city. Delivery as soon as December 14th. See details. All right. It's interesting. My other ears are going to be here before the mattresses. I hate to ask you, Carrie Rick, but when you all find one, can you just post it on Discord for me? Carrie doesn't have Discord anymore. I don't know if Reckington has Discord anymore. Reckington, I also wanted to ask you if you want to join me again when you have some free time to play World of Warcraft, which I still would like to finish trying to play a few more rounds of Classic with you. Right now I'm working on my main character, so we're going to play Vanya today. Rick, no, I picked a better one. Thanks. Okay, I'm sure. Michelle, Rick will get you a looks at my link. I haven't really been playing, but I may be able to during the week of the Thanksgiving. Okay, that sounds fine. One thing that was suggested I thought would be kind of interesting is that there's also the concept of a gnome warrior, which kind of makes me kind of laugh when you think about it. A gnome carrying a sword of 36 inches. The poor sword drags against the ground and walk. DM me 30 times a day, Michelle. I don't even talk. Oh, okay. I just lost Discord, Michelle. You should DM out on the wire about that. Guys, don't forget you can email me too, right? You do know I have an email address? If you can't handle Discord or you don't want to deal with Discord, you can email me too. You can always contact me on my email address. But you don't have to go through Discord. All right. It's just that Discord is kind of like a central repository. I also do Facebook Messenger, but I'm less active in Facebook Messenger than I am on Discord. And I'm not very active on Discord, but at least I crack it open a few times a day. I'm going to install Discord again if you keep this up. It would be good if we kept the Discord, because until we get the community tab on YouTube, we can't really do much community tab stuff yet. So, imagine Michelle buying something big like a car. If I had a car, I wouldn't have half the crap of the problems I got now. Finance or getting things done. I would just be able to, hitch the horse on front and let's go. Speaking of houses, FC pointed out and kind of confirmed with me. He said that he believes that there will be a real estate market crash within the year, and so did several other YouTube channels and investments. And so the question is, if that happens, that the housing market crashes, and the bank's got lots of unsold properties, are they willing to consider wanting to dump the properties, get rid of the toxic assets they can't sell for fire sale prices? Now, me and Patty talked about numbers, calculations for houses in the past. And there were some real estate financial organizations that do 100% financing. So I don't have good enough balance to ride a two-wheel Vespa. I can't get a motorcycle license anyway. Even regular bicycle is difficult for me with two wheels because my balance is just so screwed up from my childhood. So I tried to learn how to ride a two-wheel bike as a kid. I never could master it. But I did see the Vespas. And I looked at the new line of Vespas. Yes, a little Italian Vespa would be cute. But because it needs a motorcycle license, if it's over 50 cc's, and I can't ride a two-wheel vehicle because my balance is just bad enough that it'll make me fall over, it's not feasible. Right. Or like the electric ATV that Elon Musk made, that Rich Rebuilds has designed his own custom electric ATV from an old gasoline ATV, which is cute, little three-wheel thing. I didn't see one at the shop, but you can get a motorcycle with a sidecar. But again, he still doesn't take care of the license, as I can't get a motorcycle license. So that's still part of the whole problem. Well, I was interested in getting from my area. if I can get one of those trikes that has a rear seat, like what they call a bicycle rickshaw. And I mention that because we don't really have too many cab services in Winsted. Now imagine if I was basically providing rickshaw services for people downtown. I go get a rickshaw license. Then I could basically provide cab service in town, which was kind of something I was thinking about a couple of years ago. But as I said, the licensing in Connecticut is what would kill it for me. Yeah, they do make three-wheel mobility scooters, yeah. Except I don't have a place to park it downstairs for EV charging. And no, I'm not lugging it up 3 flights of stairs. I don't have a garage, and I don't have a place to plug it in to charge. So maybe one day they'll come up with self-driving cars and remove the driver's license requirement. But it's probably won't be for about another 10 years. Once the self-driving vehicles become reliable enough that they don't need a human being to basically police the damn thing, maybe you will see that option. But that brings back another problem, since most of the self-driving cars are electric. Which brings back to the issue about the power grid. I'm not going to go too long on this. This country's power grid is not ready for everybody to have an electric EV in the back in the parking lot. So because our country's still stuck on 120 mentality, we got to get to 240 and 416 to be realistic to maintain a charging network for these cars. Oh, that's a Mini Cooper. Mr. Bean's car is a Mini Cooper, 1960s Mini Cooper. Cute little left-hand or right-hand wheel drive one from the UK. Those are cute, yeah. Very simple to run. They don't have a lot of parts in them. Air-cooled engine, it looks like, too, by the way. Because Richard Bills bought one, which was left-hand drive for American. Apparently, he bought it from a guy who imported it from Ireland, from County Cork, and the guy was the first owner of this Mini Cooper from the 1960s, 1969 Mini Cooper, and it's a cute, basic little car. It wouldn't meet any of the modern safety crumple zones or anything like that. It doesn't really have crumple zones, but it's a cute car. Yeah, a little red thing. He just doesn't have the Union Jack on the top. If I was to get a car, I would get one with the steering wheel on the right side, because that's the way I am anyway. I drive like a Brit. I think like a Brit, so forgive me. 3-cylinder car. It's a 3-cylinder engine. So it brings the question up. How does the timing work in a 3-cylinder? It doesn't seem very balanced. Obviously, the cylinders would be in different states of compression. It's a 4-cycle engine, I believe. Because Richard Bills say he did not have to add oil to the fuel. But he said that because of its age, he had to basically totally clean out the engine, clean out the carburetor, get out the old varnish. Ugh. Didn't take him long. It's useless in the winter. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. See, after all, people in the UK were driving them in the wintertime too. But it is air cooled. So where do you get the heat? I don't think you really got much heat. I mean, it did have the frost, but again, it's like the Volkswagen Beetles. How are you getting the heat from the engine to the cabin of the car? What is the cylinder? The cylinder is where the internal combustion expansion of gases starts upon compression, followed by ignition by the spark plug. After the fuel and air are injected in through one valve, and then the exhaust valve opens on the recompression stage in the fourth cycle, which sends the exhaust gases expelled out of the engine. The cylinder is the part of the engine that makes the car go. They come in 3 and 4 cylinder. Right. Well, the one that Rich rebuilt was a 3-cylinder engine. Cute little thing though. I mean, not super heavy duty engine. I mean, but for getting around town, and it'd be fine. Yeah, well, so is the 3. The 3 is, like I said, is a good around the town car. He said that the newer versions of the Mini Cooper made after the 1980s, 1990s were kind of look kind of like the original, but they have very big problems with quality and repair work. The thing they made by BMW, but they're not as well liked because they're always breaking down. No, thank you. I'm not interested in that. No, I'm not interested in that. Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, the she builds right now is modding a modern Mini Cooper and turning it into an EV conversion. And whereas the original Mini Cooper, he from the 1960s, he doesn't want to change it. He says, "I like my little 3-wheel car, or my 3-speed, or my 3-cylinder engine car is good. It's quick, it's fast, it's got a manual transmission. It's a classic car. I don't want to carve it up and put an electric motor in it, but I will buy a modern Mini Cooper that's already got a blown engine," which he bought one with a 4-cylinder. And was it a 4-cylinder or 3? I think it was a 4, but I'm not sure. So he bought a modern Mini Cooper that had a blown engine, blown seals, and just totally took out the internal combustion gas guzzler and mounted a forklift motor onto the transmission. He says, "I don't even need the clutch plate because the thing doesn't need to be clutched." But he said, "I want to still keep the manual transmission." So you can guess how he clutches. He's obviously going to be getting his foot off the accelerator, and then he's going to shift. He said, like I did with my rat rod, he said that when you keep the transmission, it actually allows you to have the benefit of a transmission with gear ratios and allow you to get speed versus torque, depending on the kind of situation. Which makes sense. 2022, very expensive to fix. Yes, that's what they say. Mini Coopers above a certain era are just ridiculous to fix. They're just constantly breaking down. You can get them for a song and a dance on a used car shop, but they're not very reliable after the original Mini Coopers. When BMW bought them, they were like, they did like everything else in the automotive world, one plastic cheap, and basically you get a lifetime subscription to your dealership to do everything, including do basic things like fixing things. I'm going to post a link to this cute scooter, but the link is too long. Use tiny URL and make it into a tiny URL link. That's why the website tiny URL exists, because I have a tiny URL link. My channel does, but does it still work? I think it does. I'm not sure. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it? Oh, okay. I think I know where it is. Let's go to that. See if Lumi's tiny URL link still works. Let's see. I think it's www.tinyurl.com. LUMIFINISTRA. Any URL, Lumi Finistra. See if it still works. It hasn't been, I haven't used it in so long. Yeah, it still works. It still goes to my page. Amazing. That's totally cool that the tiny URL link still works after all these years. I'm surprised. What happens if one day they close your channel or something? Well, then obviously someone's going to be getting serious ain't that phone. So just use tiny URL. Let me give you a link to that so you can actually post a link to it. It's go to www.tinyurl.com, or for Lumi's page, Lumi's tiny URL link. It's www.tinyurl.com/LUMIFINISTRA. That was before I got my shortcut from YouTube. It's about the same number of letters. Yeah, it's not that much different. I find mine reliable, just regular maintenance, but they have flatless tires that are expensive. Yeah, they probably have some things like that. Flatless tires, I've heard of the concept. But they have, and you need to take the whole front end apart to fix anything. Plus, it's all BMW parts. Right, that's after they bought the original Mini Cooper line. Yeah, that's what they did. Whereas with Rich rebuilds, it was very simple for him. Just pop the bonnet, do what he had to do, because there really wasn't much to the engine. In fact, the engine was really small in that car. It looked like his Mini Cooper was, I think, rear wheel drive from 1969. I think it was rear wheel drive, or maybe it was front wheel drive. But there really wasn't much in the engine compartment. Even the battery for the car is in the back. On the modern Mini Cooper, the battery's in the back too. So just kind of an interesting thing when you talk about cars, because I don't really know a ton about them other than what I've seen in videos and read. And page people bring up topics and Facebook, whatever. I happen to occasionally land on top of car articles and so I mean it's just an interesting thing for me. Because right now I can't get a driver's license in the state of Connecticut, so it's kind of a moot point. Now in some states you can use, I think in the state of New York allows adaptive technology so the legally blind people can drive if their eyesight meets a certain minimum. I believe my eyesight would meet the minimum in the state of New York. If I were to use something called bioptics to see the speedometer, the oil gauge, and everything. But you can bet the insurance company would basically be making me bend over backwards while they're applying the Vaseline to my bum and basically get ready to screw me. The insurance cost. I mean, that's a lot of money. Because I would be considered in the high risk pool because of my eyesight in the state of New York. So that's New York. I live in Connecticut. Connecticut does not allow you to have a driver's license when using bioptics. So that's not going to happen. Because the thing is that people don't really think about this, but in the United States especially is so dependent on people having their own motor car. We have never really in the suburbs, we have never really encouraged mass transit services. Ever since the return from people from post-war World War II, we've been pushing people out to the suburbs. And the problem is at the same time, we were creating the national highway system here in the United States. And what happened is mass transit just kind of never really took on or continued to expand beyond this urban environment where the density of people made it practical to have buses, trains, trolleys, trams. So that's the reason why the United States' infrastructure for the disabled sucks so bad. However, if I was to move to the United Kingdom, for example, and lived in, say, one of the larger towns, say like Manchester, well, you already know London is definitely too expensive, or even East Anglia, or one of the other areas where mass transit, such as buses, trains, are available. Handicapped individuals can actually get around without having having their own motor car or horse and carriage, whichever one you want. But that's, again, the completely different mentality of driving and living, which does not necessarily transcribe well into the United States because of our sheer size and our more spread outness, which is something to keep in mind. The United States is pretty spread out country-wise. So for mass transit outside of the urban centers, it really doesn't make sense to have public transport, because the public transportation companies are looking at density and saying, "Oh, gee, is there going to be enough ridership to make this route profitable? If there isn't, they're not going to go for it." And the Republicans certainly are going to go, "Well, we don't really want to spend money on something that's going to lose money." So you can get buses, for example, within the urban, maybe to the suburbs. But like one person said on Vox, there's no easy way to get from suburb to suburb, which is true. Well, we're having to go through the urban center, which also is true. So that's why this country has not prepared for people to live without a vehicle of their own. But if you're legally blind, depending on the state you're in, you may not be able to get your own vehicle. However, the state of Connecticut law allows me to have a horse and carriage. The problem is that adds a whole nother level of issues. Like, where are you going to store the horse? Where are you going to get the carriage? Where are you going to store the carriage? That's completely for something came in mind. It's funny that ever since I was talking to Lummy about this morning, is that we used to use horse and carriages and animal livestock power throughout human history. And in the last 150 years, just to pick a good goalpost here to work with, we have gotten to the point where everything now is mechanized transport. And we have basically our role was the animal. I, I don't really like the term animal personally because they're really kind of. I like to say our animals or our livestock or our partners in this. We had a symbiotic relationship that changed. Now, what used to be an expensive thing, which was to have a motor car, now it's the horse and the carriage. That's become expensive. So we swept around what was a mechanical dream back in the 1900s became a necessity, and what was one time an everyday thing became a dream or a luxury for majority of the people. Very strange how we flipped in that area. Same thing is true with other things in technology as well. Back in the 1900s, a good portion of the world did not have electricity, and now we have almost everywhere in the world has electricity, mass available for everybody. Doesn't mean it's all affordable, but it's there. Whereas now most homes all have electricity, so you gotta see the same thing where we now have embraced the all mechanical technological world, but in some ways has left a lot of livestock relationships out to pasture. No pun intended. Very, very strange how things changed throughout the era of technology. So, yeah. So we are going to have our main show tonight at 7 o'clock with the phone calls and everything. And this morning show was very interesting, inspiring in a lot of ways. I do want to bring that up and say thank you for everybody who has been part of this morning show. I do appreciate that Skynet did come on. I do appreciate talking with him. Physically, I'm doing fine. Mostly, I'm a little bored. But I'm not the only one in the world that's bored right now because all the situations with the COVID-19, the pandemic, and everything else. But there's just some things about this whole situation that just basically is just disheartening to me about what's going on. I'm not going to bring up anything about the stimulus checks until I actually have a confirmed information of what legislation is they're going to pass, when it's going to pass, how much you're going to get, when you can expect it. So don't ask me to go out there and do a day-by-day play on the stimulus stuff. It's Jimmy's doing that, and it's driving me apeshit because it's like he said, and he's doing this on his own. He's saying is we don't have an idea what they're going on, but he says there are states and counties and cities that have their own localized stimulus programs, and if you're eligible for those programs, definitely go for them. If your city, state, town, county, town has them, why not? Okay, that money was earmarked for that reason on the original CARES Act. Okay. So I don't know where. Let's see. You gave me two fingers up, saying, "Oh, I guess that means you get ready to get going to your own chores." And I will be playing some World of Warcraft this afternoon. Only because last night we didn't get to it, and let's be honest, after the night show, it would be better if I played World of Warcraft in the daytime anyway, because that way I can go to bed by midnight and not be too sleepy or crabby for the next day, which is certainly what I want to do. So if I get to the World of Warcraft today, I get to the World of Warcraft today. I'm not going to rush into it, but it just just keep an eye out. If you got your notifications on the other channel, we'd love to have you come and watch us, and maybe even interact with us. We'd like to get other people to play with us in the game. So if you're interested in being on my World of Warcraft, or if you want to get in contact with me on Blizzard, my battle tag is NA Snow Queen #1929. I'll just type it in here just so you can see it. So if you guys want to try to find out a bit, my battle tag is NA Snow Queen 1929. Oops, 9 at 1928. If you want to join me to play World of Warcraft Retail or Classic. Okay. By the way, I play Alliance and Horde on both. So actually in retail I play Alliance and Horde. On Classic I just play Alliance. So I did try Horde for a while. Originally I created a Tauren, which is kind of fun. But yeah, I decided to display human and night elves. So, all right, guys, that's it for now. Everybody, I'll talk to you soon. See you at 7 o'clock tonight. Or am I still? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more Cancy eye drops soon too. I'm just about out, and I had skipped my eye drops for a while because I only had a few drops left. I need to get more eye drops. So this is again where the Patreons come in. I want to say thank you for all the time the Patreons have helped. By being a regular Patreon, you help me defray my eye drop expense, which can get kind of dicey after a while. Okay? But right now, see you later, guys. Have a nice night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.